gentlemen. That's just what it is. And yeah, YouTube did get us. So if you are watching on YouTube, we apologize. We are streaming on Facebook and we're still streaming on X also. So if you want to catch us on there, we're streaming on there also. But with that being said, he's going to get paid. Now, whatever the Miami Dolphins decide to pay him or whatever, we shall see. But until then, did you try to upload again?
Yeah, that's what I just uploaded again. So I don't know if that's it or what.
Well, we'll see, because they might have had us playing that, like I said, playing that video too long.
Which we've never had the problem before with different things, but anyway, what else you want to get into?
I mean, just looking forward to seeing what they're gonna do, because June 1st is literally this week, and we've been talking about, this, June 1st. We shall see what the Miami Dolphins do, because I think they're not done. I really don't think that they're done at all.
Yeah, I agree with you. So,
oh yeah, we're back on.
Okay.
So, yeah, we're back. It's good, folks. Yeah, we're on YouTube again. We got to be careful with that. So, but with that being said, yeah, I'm just looking forward to seeing what they're gonna do with this money, and if that's gonna coordinate with the Tua contract, the Holland contract. Are they gonna pick somebody else up? It's a lot of questions, and this is the exciting part of the off season for Miami Dolphins and the Miami Dolphin fans. Like, it's a who's who. You know what you want to happen, and sometimes you don't like what happens, but what control do we have?
Exactly. My thing is, it's what's up, CB83? Thank you for joining us, brother.
Yeah, man, we got to get you on here, man. We got to get you on here. We're on for maybe about another 45 minutes today, but we need to get you on a Wednesday night when you're free, without a doubt, brother.
We'll be dropping the link in a few minutes.
Absolutely.
I'm hoping there was a part in there that we didn't get to. The fact of he should not look at being the highest paid, but getting what he's going to be content with. And Miami needs to look at what's going to protect them.
Right.
He needs to realize, like they were saying, where he came from, his problems he's had, and should be grateful for what he's got actually right now.
Right.
Because if they're saying at one point, I remember, if he gets one more concussion, there's probably not going to be a team out there that will take him.
Right.
So he needs to play his cards carefully.
You're right. I agree.
I agree. If he's offered 45, and he should probably jump on that. It's all going to depend on the money guaranteed as well. I know, but
that's the main. I'm going to be honest with you. I think that's the main thing right there. I think the guaranteed money is I think that is the main thing, and I think that is because he's been watching quarterbacks year in and year out get paid a lot of money. He feels like, hey, look, I put up number one numbers. I put those numbers up. I was number one in 5 different categories, 6 different categories. So he feels like, hey, I put these numbers up. This is what you guys ask of me, and I'm doing what you guys ask of me. And I think I deserve to get paid in the echelon of these other quarterbacks. Now, us as fans, depending on if you're a Tua non, a guy like myself saying that I'm a Tua, I like Tua, but Tua still has to give me that upper echelon. You need to leap over that actual fence, and then you just got people that just can't stand Tua together. I am
Yeah.
that one where, like, I continue to say, and I sound like a broken record every time I say this about Tua. I like Tua, but Tua, you need to sit there and show me that you are the clutch quarterback. The clutch quarterback. I was there, like I keep telling people, 2022, I was there in Baltimore. I was there,
And he needs to show a lot more of that. Yes, I agree with you. He needs to
true.
show a lot more of that.
But in the same sense, and with the same sense, I keep telling everybody this. In the same sense, he has to come up in big games, and that is an issue with Tua. So
Hmm.
we beat the teams that we're supposed to beat. But the thing about it is, you have to beat the Buffalo Bills to beat because right now, right out the gate, you got the Jags, which the Jags are not going to be a pushover. And I'm telling everybody that right from the door. And then we got right there Thursday night the Bills. So they could easily be a early 0-2. I'm not wishing it, but if we are
No,
not careful, definitely that can happen.
on YouTube they show the Madden simulation for the season and stuff. I
Right.
did not get to see the Jags game, but and they just posted the Bills week 2,
Okay.
which they have us winning.
Okay.
It was 38-30, I believe it was. Yeah, I think it was 38-30 was the final score.
Mhm.
So let's bring on Mr. Polk. Crazy Dolphin, how you doing, brother?
What's going on, Mr. Polk? How you doing,
Um,
brother?
I'm doing okay. Let me just adjust. I don't know why I keep getting on and I have to adjust my audio. So y'all go
You're
ahead.
good. You're good. We
Okay.
appreciate you joining us.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Okay. Can y'all hear me?
We're
Yeah, we
loud
can
and
hear you.
clear.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Good evening, Paul Dolphin winners. I agree with what y'all saying. That because I said it. I don't know if it was the last time I was on this platform. He needs to step outside that box and be the quarterback that he can be. Because to me, he has a lot of talent. I followed him from Alabama and what have you. The the 2 years he's been with McDaniels, and I'm not putting that McDaniels down. He's what I to me he's what I call a program quarterback, meaning that he's doing the scheme that McDaniel wants him to do. But I think he can do more if if he decides to take more control of his career and step outside that box. Don't just be the same person year after year. Even though he stepped up last season, he stayed healthy last season as well. But you got to step outside that box, and we're having to the point where when we get into the when we're getting towards the middle of the season or toward where we can be in the play zone, you got to step up, and it's not just him. The whole team, and mainly the offense, because really the defense has been playing well the last 2 seasons. They've been keeping us in a lot of games, but the offense is not just Tua and Coach McDaniel. They got to step it up, and from what I'm seeing with the draft and undrafted players, look like that's what they're going to do. They're going to change up the offense, and from Tua doing his training, as soon as the season was over with, he's trying to better himself as well. So just like John O'Hanlon says, we have to just kind of wait and see. We just have to wait and see.
Yeah, I agree with you a lot on that, Mr. Polk. He does things need to change, and he does need to step outside of the box somewhat. He is a pretty much a systems quarterback,
Right.
and he needs to step it up and become not necessarily a systems quarterback. And like Jeremy saying, he needs to be able to really handle them cold temp games as well.
Well, we're gonna
Hmm.
find out this year. You see how the schedule's already laid out. I think the last four of our games are like we have our last home game is against the 49ers, and then we go to Cleveland and then go to MetLife back to back as the last 2 games of the season. So Cleveland is cold in the wintertime. And playing the Jets, definitely that's going to be a cold game. But like I'll say this, that for that game, that's an up in the air game because for the last few years it's been in the 40s and 50s up here for that game. So it might not be cold up there for that game. So
there's just like everything else, got to wait and see because temperature. The weathermen are the only people that get paid to be wrong half the time. If we were wrong at our jobs half the time, we wouldn't have a job.
You ain't never lied on that.
Well, the 19 and I know this going far back. The 1972 Dolphins, if I'm not mistaken, they had to play some of their games in cold weather.
Well, don't correct. They had to go to Pittsburgh. They were the number 1 seed and had to go to Pittsburgh and play the AFC Championship game in Pittsburgh because that's the way the system was made. How would you feel of being the number 1 overall undefeated seed going to the visitors team? They got to go to the visitors to play them in their in their stadium, in their elements, and still win the game to go to the Super Bowl.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly. It was totally different back then. So
way different back then.
But I mean, I understand that, but y'all don't think it's just no, I can't say it's a mindset. I mean,
it could be a mindset too, but he needs to get over it. What's up, Keith Liam?
Well, I mean, not just Tua, but I mean the rest of some of the other players as well.
Oh yeah, I mean, but that whole game in Kansas City, I mean, that was just really totally ridiculous to play in.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Well, the thing with that was they weren't canceling that game. They had too many people already had their travel arrangements already made and stuff like that. And I fully agree with you. I don't think nobody should have to play in negative 40-degree temperatures. I mean, you got to remember, we've had Miami Dolphin fans that were actually there at that game on our panel a few months ago, and they clearly said that they've never felt temperatures that cold ever in their life. So,
I mean, honestly, if it gets to even -1, anything below 0, they should not force these guys to play it.
Yeah.
I mean, the guys are okay out there because they're running around, they're moving, they got the blood pumping and stuff like that. Right. But you got to think, I don't care how much you bundled up. You got these people out there, a lot of them are idiots because they're drinking up a storm. Oh, I'm staying warm. And next thing you know, they're half dead because they're frozen because their blood's thinned out and everything from all the alcohol. And they're getting cold or they're taking off their shirts like an idiot and stuff like some of them were doing.
Or other substances that we will not mention on this podcast, but we all know what we're talking about. So seriously, I'll tell you this, Mr. Palkin and Paul, man, I'll never forget watching that game and seeing that dude with his shirt off. And I'm like, you got to be kidding me, bro. That is more than alcohol. There's no way that's just alcohol. That's not just alcohol. No.
And I think there was a game where I don't know if it was a Dolphin game, but it was a game where it was so cold that the fans were actually getting frostbite in some of their extremities.
That was the game. That
game. Yeah, they had frostbite. There were several people who had frostbite on their extremities and stuff, and even amputation of fingers. I think I've heard.
Yeah,
right. I heard about that too.
I'm good. I'm all right.
Yeah, no, not for me.
No, me either.
I'm a Southern boy for a reason.
I live in Philly, and I'm gonna tell you something, Mr. Paul. We deal with the cold, but we don't deal with that type of cold. We just don't. It's cold. It gets cold up here, but it never gets to a point where it's -40.
I got a little taste of it when I was staying with my cousin up in Massachusetts, so I got a chance to see what cold weather was really like. I said, my goodness.
Yeah, buddy. It's real. It's real.
Let's welcome Cap for Life to the show.
Up, Cap? How you doing, Cap?
Hey, Winters, pop up.
What's up?
Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
My blood pressure, cholesterol. Yeah, no, man. Hey, guys, I hope you guys are having a great weekend. Mr. Paul, hope everything's well down here. I know you're feeling like me right now, sweating and melting right now as we speak.
Yeah, I'm indoors in the AC though. I can still say that.
Yeah,
Oh,
MC,
and I just want to mention
yeah,
one
man.
thing. Cap for Life was one when I first got on YouTube. Cap for Life was one of the first persons to greet me and made me feel comfortable, on YouTube. I don't know if he realized that, but Cap for Life was one of the first persons to greet me on YouTube.
well, real quick, MCJB, I doubt I'm going to the
I
beach
appreciate
bash
that, bro.
because the puppies will only be 4 years old, 4 weeks old. So we really can't leave them home alone all day. So
Yeah,
I would
that's
You
love
how.
to
can't get a
go
dog
to.
sitter?
I'm not paying $100 for one day for dog sitting.
How much is it?
$100 for
You
someone to
don't have
come
like
to
a
your
like a
house.
like a grandkid or a niece or nephew or something that can watch them for you?
Not
That way
no,
you don't have to
not
get stressed
anyone.
out.
No, I don't stress out these days. I'm too old for that shit.
Facts.
I mean, there is nothing to stress out over. I mean, I am too old for that shit. I don't care what anybody
Hell yeah, you
thinks,
sitting
anybody
back and
says.
just lounging right now.
I mean,
Mhm.
hey, I was out there in the heat earlier today. We're trying to put some new fencing up and stuff like that. And I did my work early this morning, and it got too hot too quick. And
Woo. Did you set the
I,
post and everything? You did what, ditches and everything?
well, I had someone working with me. I can't do a whole lot with my health and everything. But
Yeah.
I had to unload some cinder blocks and cinder caps off the trailer, which was 40 of them altogether.
Oh, good
And then there
grief.
was, some posts and 4x4s and
That's a nice
plywood
little
and other
project.
things. Oh, I got a lot going on around here, and yeah, I try and get people to come in and do some work for me and I pay good money. But trying to find someone who can actually knows what they're doing and do good work is hard.
Mhm.
Yeah, man. If you ever need help, man, let me know, man. I live down here in Miami, bro. I don't know where you're at, but push
I'm
comes to
north.
shove. If you ever need help, let me know.
No, I'm north of Tampa.
Oh, okay, okay.
It's a 5-hour drive. I appreciate it, brother, but
Yeah, I'm on.
um,
I got a buddy of mine who stays in Brandon, I think. What's it called? Brandon, right? By the casino?
yeah, Brandon's
Brad,
right there by
Yeah.
the casino. Yeah,
oh, that's right, Brandon. That's
Yeah.
right. That's Brandon.
yeah. There's a
But
casino
yeah,
at
guys,
Heart.
no, I wanted to get on here, man, because I wanted to talk to you guys, man. I heard this the other day and it was kind of intriguing. And I just wanted to get your thoughts on it. I brought it up earlier on the platform, and I think Mr. Park was on there, so I just wanted to get his feedback too. Bob Greasy, your
Yeah.
thoughts about Bob Greasy's career, since you guys are back in the day, old school like I am, and we're considered the old heads. Like your thoughts about his contribution to this organization and his comparison to now.
I mean, you got to think. I'll start off. I'll sit there and say this: it's two different eras, but you got to think back in those days. They played 6 preseason games, and then they played a 14-game season.
Yeah.
So with that being said, and those games back then was rugged, raw. Rules were different. It was a lot of different. It was a lot of difference in the games back then. In the game today,
So
you think
wouldn't
about it.
that be more of wouldn't that be more of an advantage for Bob, being that there was guys over there ready to take his head off and not get penalized for it?
I mean, you think about it. If you think about it, Bob Greasy played in today's game, he probably would dominate because the rules are different and the rules protect the quarterback so much.
Yeah.
He wouldn't have to worry about half of the stuff that they. Dude, I'm gonna tell you something. I remember, and I'm probably the youngest one between Papa Paul, Crazy Dolphin, and myself. I remember getting up in the morning, bro, and the opening monologue for the NFL today was dudes getting helicopter tackled. Like you don't see that, and I mean this was the literal game. This wasn't like, oh, we're just throwing some graphics up.
Well,
No, bro,
I mean,
this is
no,
actual gameplay back then.
and not only that, back then they played with broken arms, with casts on their arms,
Yeah,
Sure
buddy.
did.
and
They
Sure
did.
did.
and they would still use them arms in the play. They didn't care.
Dick
I mean,
Right.
it
Buckus
was,
and Nino Green and all those
and I
dudes.
mean, and really, Dan Marino, if you had Dan Marino start now, he would totally dominate.
And also Cap, as far as ball greases go, he was to me he was a little underrated because of the other quarterbacks that came out in that same era that he did. So he wasn't what's the word? He wasn't as popular as some of the quarterbacks that came out at the same time.
It's hard to say on some of that, though, because you got to remember in that year in 72 when they went undefeated, Earl Morrall played a lot of those games because Bob Greasy was hurt.
Right.
And then he came back at the end of the season.
And that was a good combination to have a good backup quarterback like Earl Morrall.
Yeah. So it's tough to say how well Bob could do these days, but any of those quarterbacks back then, I think, could really do well today.
I couldn't imagine watching. No, not to cut you off. I couldn't imagine watching like a Fran Tucker in a game, today's game. I couldn't imagine watching
Lynn Swan, Jerome Bettis.
I couldn't. Man.
Terry Bradshaw.
Terry Bradshaw. Oh my
Eric
God.
Dickerson.
Burt Jones.
Yeah, but look, my point is that I don't know, Papa, correct me if I'm wrong. Did Bob play? I'm 46, so correct me if I'm wrong. I've done, to the point where I've done my research all the way to your premium and everything else, back to the Blackman brothers and all that stuff with Manny Fernandez and everything like that. So I'm learning little by little. But did Greasy contribute to 2 Super Bowls or 1?
2.
Okay.
Two.
So with that being said, he won playoff games. He won Super Bowls. He had an era where if you got your head cut off, you're not going to get penalized for it because that's just the way it was. And we're comparing now the era that we have now to then. I just don't understand how we're downgrading it, because the reason I bring that up is because it seems like they're doing it in a downgrading fashion to Bob, which is not fair at all.
No, back to me, all the players back then were a lot tougher than any of the players these days.
Yeah.
I mean, it goes point blank. Kids these days, they fall down and scrape a knee and they're crying like they broke an arm or something.
Well, shoot, you think about it. Back in those days, you had a lot of two-way players back then too. You had a lot of players that were playing offense and defense, or playing offense and defense.
Yes. You had a lot of that because really back then it wasn't about the money, and they didn't make money back then, really.
No, they didn't. Not at all. What's up, Mountie? To shout out to Mountie real quick. Just wanted to let you guys know we are signing off in 25 minutes.
Okay, that's fine.
Back then anybody who played football in the 60s, the 70s, and even the early 80s were basically playing for the love of the game.
Yeah.
They played to kill.
That's real.
Get away with assault on that field.
I mean, you would get clotheslined across the neck. Who was it? It was Wahoo McDaniel.
Yep.
Broke back.
Professional wrestler too. The one and only Wahoo McDaniel.
The Oakland Raiders had 2 defensive back that would take your head off. Lester Hayes and a guy named Haynes. Those 2 guys they used to play dirty.
Man, listen. Could you imagine the rules back then being applied now, and if you attempted to go across the middle, those guys used to get creamed.
Yeah, bro. Imagine us going to that type of scenario we had with Concussion Gate back then. They'd laugh at us, bro. Get back out there, they would say.
Yep, that's exactly what they would say. That's exactly what they would say.
Well, like I said earlier, they played with casts on their arms. Cast on both arms. I remember, I forget who it was, but they had cast. One guy had cast on both arms, but he was still playing.
Who was it, that guy? I don't know if he played for the Steelers or Minnesota, man. What was his name? Jack Youngblood? Played with a broken leg during a game or something?
Oh yeah. Youngblood. That was a different dude, yo. It was just certain players back in those days. It was certain players. They were just different, man. Yeah. It was just different. It was just different. You'd be like, Lord have mercy.
Lawrence Taylor.
Oh man. Oh man.
I mean, we could go on for days talking about guys of the past on how they played, and I don't know if they could. Don't take this wrong. I don't know if they could handle playing in today's rules.
Yeah,
Right.
because they would be penalized every time they would.
Exactly.
They so
Yes.
set in their gameplay to take your head off that it's hard for them to break away from that.
Yep.
Yeah, Jeremy was just saying down here, right there, Jack Lambert of the Steelers played with cast on both hands.
I've seen guys play with their face bloody, nose busted up.
Oh, yeah.
You can see a guy with his nose actually almost twisted, and playing football.
And their jerseys. Could you imagine having one of those jerseys that was just covered in blood? That'd be worth millions these days, really.
Absolutely.
And one more thing, look at the face masks they had back in the days too. They didn't have as much protection with the face masks they have today as they did back then.
Yeah, I agree. And like Mudbone said, Mean Joe Green, he was always out to kill. I mean, these days we have players that can do that. I know we have players on our team that can do that, but at the same time, they've been trained with the new rules.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's a bit different. But you look at just had a brain for it, that old age stuff.
Yeah.
You know what you're saying right now, and who is that? Mountie? That's Mountie. Mountie.
Yeah.
Hey, what's going on, bro? Hey, no, I just wanted to say that real quick. With that being said, you got guys that, like you said, pretty much going by the new rules, are making more money and playing less throughout those type of scenarios, which is understandable because of the Players Association. But man, back in the day, you had to play and you did not get paid. It's just, man, I just don't understand how this world is nowadays, man.
You're absolutely right.
Well, like I said, they played for the love of the game. They loved playing football, and they did what they could to play the game. And back then, the only way you were making the team is if you were literally crushing the other team. So, what's your opinion? Let's go over a little bit of when do you think Phillips will be back? Who wants to answer that?
Start with Mountie first. Mountie, you there?
Yeah, I'm here. What's going on?
When do you think Phillips will make it back?
Jalen Phillips?
Yeah.
It's hard to say. He had a Achilles, man. That's usually 18 months to get going fully, because it seemed like he had a complete rupture. So
these days it's not 18 months anymore, and I can tell you right now, after meeting him back in February, he's amazing. He's out there doing things. He's way ahead of schedule. I think the latest he'll be back is right after our bye week, which will be week 7. Yeah, that's the latest he'll be back.
Okay, listen, I'm praying for him.
They'll end up putting him and Chubbs probably on IR just to give him that extra time, which would mean 6 weeks, which means they would come back at week 7.
Don't rush back.
I was looking at Jalen Phillips' tape, and I love the kid. I like him. But do you think Miami's gonna be chopping at the bit to re-sign him or give him to re-sign him?
Yes,
Jalen Phillips. Yeah, I agree.
Okay.
Yes, most definitely. The man. I'm 6'5", and I got to look up to him. And this guy is built like no tomorrow. I mean, he is built like a freaking beast.
Hey, that's the Iguana King, bro. They say he found an iguana in his toilet, and he's the iguana king from now on.
Yeah, he says he's got to look before he goes to the bathroom now. You know, could you imagine, you know, going to the bathroom in the middle of the night and just sitting down and getting goosed by an iguana or something?
The color said, "Look more like a baby gator." Oh my God! Oh.
Well, that's what iguanas kind of look like in a way, almost.
Yeah.
But him and
Anybody
Chubb,
hear anything about Tua in his contract?
well, we were discussing that already, and
Oh, okay.
there is no real further news. They're still in discussions, but we were talking about. We watched an article where they were talking about should Tua play the first week if he does not have a contract extension. Personally, I say yes, but they threw out some good points on there that, of course, some of them were saying he shouldn't even be at OTAs. If he's at OTAs, he should be in shorts and flip-flops. But to me, he should be at OTAs. He should be at the mini camp and their training camp and all that, to showing that he wants to be a part of this team no matter what. That's my opinion.
Well, go ahead.
I don't know. There's a lot of people say they'll have it done before the first week. As long as there's stuff that's going to protect the team itself from any further injuries he might occur, hopefully he doesn't. I don't want him to, but anything can happen, as we know, in the game of football. And this year we have I think 8 out of our 9 away games are on turf.
Okay. Listen, having owned a business, having had employees, you know, I'm putting my business owner hat on right now. Now, do you pay him based on what you think he's capable of doing, or do you pay him based on what he's accomplished thus far? I mean, listen, this is a business, so we have to look on that side of it as well.
Well,
I can pay
honestly,
you based on what you've accomplished, not what you aspire to be.
I would pay him based on what he's accomplished, because honestly, I think he's going to come back this year. When he's playing this year, he's going to be – I really think he's going to be better than he ever has been.
Okay. I mean, it remains to be seen. As I said it last year, I think Greer, to be honest with you, I think Greer and company wants to see Tua play probably 2 years, or at least a year and a half, before they really, lean into this and secure him, give him the bag, so to speak.
Well, on Tua, I would personally have him play this year out and franchise tag him next year. That's me. But we are not the heads above, as our faithful Johnny O always says. We got to wait and see. We don't know what's going on in there. We don't know the ins and outs. We don't know any part of the discussions, what's going on. So it's hard to say with Tua.
Don't you think, Papa, in this day and age, I mean, with the change everybody likes to talk about going on, don't you think that mindset needs to change too? And maybe the fans should have a say, since this new era of football is consisting of them taking more out of my paycheck with the taxes and the increase of season tickets as well.
Well, we could say that all we want. They're never going to go based on what the fans say. Because, one, there's not the fans themselves, the everyday fans that are out there doing all this like we do and everything, really don't know jack shit about the business and how it's going and what they're doing.
Yeah, but their business can't exist without our money.
No, but
go ahead.
So I want to say, Dolphin Winter said something key the last time last time you on, he said that no matter what the fans think, what we think, the office going to make their decision, and they're going to go with what they want to do. So we can sit here and say that, he shouldn't get this amount or this amount, but the office they're going to make their decision regardless of what the fans think anyway.
Yeah.
That's what it comes down to. We can sit here and say that he shouldn't get this and that. And I mean, I got my opinion, but that's why I
And
say I like what Dolphin Winter said the other night.
and just so you know, the Hard Rock Stadium did not increase any taxes or anything like that. Ross paid for all the upgrades that's been being done out of his own
Yeah,
pocket.
well, I get that. I'm not asking that aspect with the property, but when I'm parking in the property and I got to park for $150 or 120, I think that's outrageous.
Well, then you're getting robbed if you're paying $150 for parking.
What's the max? 100?
You right now, it depends on where you're parking. First
Last
of
year
all,
was 120.
you're parking in Orange, then, right?
I mean, it doesn't matter if it's orange, blue, green. It's still 120.
If you're parking around the stadium, I got tickets anywhere from as low as $50 for parking. You got to hunt around. If you want to park in orange, you don't have to. You can park in yellow. I get yellow parking passes.
No, look, me personally, I live right across the street, so I walk. I don't have to pay parking at all. I'm just saying for the people that work hard for their money.
The yellow parking passes, if you get yellow parking passes every year, you're only paying, I think, $35 a game.
Yeah, but you got to get season tickets for that too. I mean, you can do it separate also, but that's still part of the package plan you have to get with them.
But you can go online right now and probably get tickets for a lot less buying the whole year out. But the most I ever paid, I did pay once. I paid $150, but most of the time I paid $100, and several times, 3 or 4 times, I only paid $50. And
man, back in the day, over on 199. I think on 7th Avenue, we used to get them cheap for like $20 back in the day when we used to see all the scalpers and stuff. Now you don't see nobody, man.
But that's back in the that's way back then. Everybody sells them a lot higher than what they're paying for them, and it's ridiculous. And the only reason they're selling them for higher what they're paying for is because people are willing to pay that.
Yeah, it's a digital world, man. Everybody buys online. You can set your own price.
If you don't want to pay $150, don't buy the damn ticket. Plain and simple.
Buddy. Yeah, buddy.
Yeah, I never buy it at all, man. Look, I usually park over by the school that's right across by the turnpike, and I walk my happy ass right to the stadium for free.
Well, I get yellow. Like I said, I get yellow parking. I pay $35 a game because I'm a season ticket holder. But I get orange parking. I pay $50 for an orange parking pass at times, and that's it most of the time. Every once in a while, I pay $100, and only one time because I wanted to be in orange for that game, I paid $150.
Cap, I hate to say this, but you can go to Walmart and get you a nice big screen TV and park right in front of it. Not have to pay much at all, bro. Kill all that. I know it's not the same watching on TV and being there at the game. I know it's not the same, but I'm happy, man. Parking, sitting right in front of the big screen TV and watching the game.
Gentlemen, I don't want to
Hell
do this. Yeah, we got about like 9 more minutes, and we're going to be signing off. We wanted to sit there and go around and start off with any final words.
No, man, thank you guys, man. Enjoy your weekend. Everybody be safe out there, man. There's going to be a lot of law enforcement out there, a lot of DUI checkpoints in Miami. You guys just be smart, man. Have fun, but be smart, man, especially down here, man, because we need you guys for the season.
Yes, sir. You have a good weekend, Cap.
Yeah, peace, love,
You too, brother.
love.
Take care, guys.
Peace, love,
Fins up, guys.
Cap.
God bless.
Mountie, you got any last words?
Hey, man, as always, it's always great to be up here chopping it up, whether I'm talking to y'all and engaging or listening. So, hey, have a great, stay safe and prosperous weekend. Fins up.
Fins up. Peace up, fins up, Mountie. Thank you, brother.
Yeah, real quick, I just want to comment on colors. Yeah, last year it was $25 for. No, actually, I only paid $15 with the season pass for last
Wow.
year. I think it's $25 in yellow now this year,
Hmm.
and probably if you're paying in with if you're paying with Sun Pass like he stated, it might go up some this year that way. I think it's either went to 25 or 35 for this year for yellow. But the first 2 years, I only paid $15 for yellow.
Mr. Polk, you got any last words? Mr. Polk? Mr. Polk, you there?
I think we might have lost him.
Hello.
There he
There
is.
you are.
You got any last words, Mr. Polk?
Hey, thanks for having me on the show. As always, I enjoy y'all company. Like I said, like I said, the season is coming up soon, so we just gotta wait and see how everything goes. Take it step by step.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Appreciate you, Mr. Polk. Definitely,
We
man.
still got a couple minutes, Mr. Polk, so don't leave quite yet. But
Yeah.
Mhm.
we do want to thank all our patriots out there that have given their lives, their families, thank their families for, their spouse, brother, sister, mother, father, whoever have given their life. We wouldn't be where we are today doing what we're doing without those who gave all. So remember, this is about the ones who gave all this weekend. It's not about partying. It's not about having fun. And real quick, we got Color coming on for 5 minutes or so. What's up, Color?
Hey guys, what's up, Papa Paul, Dolphin Winners, Mr. Polk? What y'all up to?
Man,
What's up,
listen,
my
we're about to
brother?
sign up.
I won't take too much of your time. I just, I'm one of them people. I get obsessive. I got OCD a little bit, but I got to explain about the parking thing. So in 2021, it's something that they now have canceled. You're no longer able to do. In 2021, you were still able, if you were willing to set your Sun Pass up with auto debit, which would automatically deposit funds in it when you get below a certain threshold and all that. If you were willing to set that auto debit up on your Sun Pass, they were willing to let you use it to get into the stadium for parking, and it was only $25 on game day doing it that way. They canceled that whole program in 2022. You no longer can use it like that. And for this year, I am a first-time season ticket holder this year.
Nice.
And they will only offer gray parking to new season ticket holders now.
Where is Gray now?
I have no clue. Ali and I tried to look it up earlier, but it's either the Walmart parking lot or it's that line of cars you see underneath the 199 overpass when you're coming in. That whole line.
Well, there is a big parking lot way on the other side of Walmart, south of Walmart.
Right. That was the free parking, like free official Dolphins parking is in that lot. That's
I thought they were still charging there last year.
Well, if you get in or if you sign up for it early enough, you can get it for free. But if it gets closer to game day, you have to pay for that parking too.
Okay, yeah, I have yellow. I've had yellow. I've been trying to get ADA parking around the stadium, but there's a wait list for that. And to me, that is BS, because to me, anybody who has season tickets that have ADA season tickets should have first dibs on any ADA parking around the stadium.
That would go hand in hand. I mean,
yeah,
people might not like it, but there's a reason a wheelchair gets to the front of the line at Disney World.
Exactly. May
not seem fair, but you know what I mean. Whatever.
I know. I know how you are, Color, and I know I'm not getting any better.
Right.
No.
My legs are all right these days, though. Fortunately, it's just my arms and my hands I can't use anymore.
Yeah, no, my legs and my backs is real bad and stuff, and I can't sit, I can't stand too long. Walking's not bad. It's just standing on cement and stuff like that. It really kills me.
Oh yeah,
same here, Papa Paul. That's why I don't go to games now.
But
Yeah, I didn't, you know, like I said, the OCD got me. I didn't want to type all that into chat.
You're all good, and I just,
You're
you know,
good.
just to add on, ladies and gentlemen, if you guys want to go over to the Fence Tailgate in about less than 3 minutes, they will be having a show with Shake Money and color commentary, Ali the Persian, Shake Money, Al Capitan, and others will definitely be through. Crazy Dolphin will probably be over there. You know, we might go over there for a little bit, but support all content creators, ladies and gentlemen. That's what it's all about.
Especially these two guys. These are a couple of the more genuine people you meet in the Dolphins community right here.
Appreciate you.
Thank you, Color. We really appreciate that.
Pleasure.
Winners, you want to say your last words, winners?
Man, listen, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us this evening. Thank you for actually joining us every time that we're on. We will be on at 9 a.m. tomorrow morning. We'll probably be talking about somewhat of the same things or a little bit. We'll try not to get any strikes on YouTube this time. So with that being said, Papa Paul, you got anything?
You said it all. We appreciate everyone watching on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, on Huddled Network. Y'all have a blessed weekend. Stay safe out there. Peace, love, and fins up, everybody.
Peace, love, fins up.
This is a Huddle Sports Network broadcast. You can find us on Roku TV, Amazon Fire TV, Facebook, and of course YouTube. Get all your NFL news here first.